Okay, you got your primary locator ones. These are the easiest questions on the reading test. So they give you a specific reference to the text with the line number. They'll tell you, oh, on line 31, they use the word awesome. What does it mean in this context? Well, if it tells you exactly where to go, then it's a primary locator. Then you have secondary locators. These don't tell you where to go. They don't give you a passage number or a line number, but they do mention something very specific to the text, and that will be your hint to where to find them. If they tell you, oh, who is she talking to at the train station? You don't know what passage or what line where she was talking to somebody at a train station, but when you're reading the passage, once you realize that they're talking about a train station, then you realize, oh, that conversation's about to come. So, and then our last type is general. These questions ask about the passage as a whole, and you usually can't answer them until you've read the whole thing. The best way to tell whether it's a general or a secondary locator question, in order to tell the difference, just ask yourself, can this question be applied to any body of text? If your question asks you, the author's primary purpose of this passage was, then that question could be applied to any story ever, and you could still answer it. But if they're asking you, when did the girl talk to her dad at the train station? You can't answer that if somebody's asking you about Harry Potter or something. That question doesn't make sense to a different story, but it only makes sense in this story. That's how you tell if it's secondary locator or despite that, that's maybe a hint that something's about to change in the story, and that you want to slow down and read it because it might be important. You also want to slow down for important punctuation that indicates that something big's about to happen. These include exclamation points, question marks, colons and dashes, like we talked about in English. Those provide emphasis, and that may be a hint that it's something important. From each of their hypotheses, and you have to be able to find those out and solve the questions. And then research summary, these are kind of like a fusion of both. They'll have some general questions that kind of remind you of the conflicting viewpoint, and then they have direct reference questions, kind of like the data representation. You can see how it has 6 questions, which is right in the middle between the 5 and the 7.
Well, come to these kinds of classes?
Well, I'm an ACT tutor, and I tutor the ACT for high school students that are trying to get a good enough ACT score to apply to college. And my class and the service I provide is important for people because the ACT, your score for the ACT is very important for when you're applying for colleges, and the ACT can be very difficult for people regardless of how well they do in school, because it doesn't perform like a regular school test. So my job is to help you understand how the test actually functions, so you can translate that knowledge into a good ACT